The Justin Robert Young program is brought to you, as always, by patreon.com/JuRY. Support the show. Get bonus politics episodes. Get the Friday hype train. All there at patreon.com/JuRY. Also, by The Contender, the game of presidential debate. It's tax week. Hopefully you paid your taxes. Hopefully I'm not the first reminder you've had that you should pay your taxes. Pay your goddamn taxes, folks. But whether or not you're paying or you got a refund, you can head on over to thecontender.us. If you buy the base game and use code TAXCUT, you too will be able to get a free taxes mini expansion. It's a fun time. Award-winning game created by me and my buddy John Teasdale. Thecontender.us. Buy a base game, use code TAXCUT, get a free taxes mini expansion. But enough of talking about how we support the show. Oh, what do you say we just do the damn thing? Welcome to the Justin Robert Young program. My name is Justin Robert Young. That is, as per usual, the Possum Posse rolling on in. They have been doing something that I've been yelling at them to do since they've been playing our South by show, and that is to take their YouTube more seriously. They've got so many subscribers. They have one of the best viral videos of all time with Guy in a Buffalo, and now they are doing more YouTube stuff. So I would encourage everybody to go ahead and head on over to youtube.com/thepossumposse and subscribe to them. They're doing these, what would a guy in a buffalo do? Pretty funny shit. Pretty funny shit. That's all I'm saying. You should go over there. They're really talented. Anyway. All right. Welcome. Hey, everybody. It's your old pal, Justin Robert Young. We are doing the Justin Robert Young show. We got some sweet and sour for you. You know, that's what we like to do here on the show is give you a little bit of silliness, a little bit of fun, and a little bit of the real. And we got both of them on the show today. We got a great question that somebody is asking. God knows why anybody would ask me anything at all. I mean, this is the dumbest show on the internet. But for whatever reason, somebody's asked me a very serious question. I will give it a very serious answer. And meanwhile, we've got stories about Instagramming your coke smuggling vacation and a YouTube/Instagram beef that will either make you feel so old you'll disintegrate from a strong breeze breaking your brittle bones, or you'll be a lot hipper. Although I don't know whether or not this is something that is like a hip thing, or like you should be embarrassed if you know all the names that I'm about to talk about. So let's go ahead and get right into this. This is an article that I read this morning from the Jezebel.com site, written by Hazel Kills or Sills. I don't know how to pronounce her name because I'm just reading it. Raise up off my nuts. Wherein she explains a YouTube beef. All right? This YouTube beef explained for your old ass. So here are the names. Are you feeling tired and stressed lately by semi-famous teenagers like Whoa Vicky and Bad Baby, who appear in headlines for elusive reasons? You want to know what I just realized? I used to love when I was a younger man. Whenever old, like Bill O'Reilly was the best at it. Whenever like social commentators would read rap music lyrics, it's just my favorite because they're always just so indignant of like, move, bitch, get out of the way, get out of the way, move, bitch. And now I'm doing that. Now I am just kind of like side-eye reading about these people that are young and are expressing young people things. So here we go. Whoa, Vicky and Bad Baby. Does hearing the phrase, hi, bitch, send you into a downward spiral? Do you read the words, Lil Tay 9 clapped back at Danielle Brijoli and want to scream a scream into the dark night? If so, then you've come to the right place, because I'm here to explain this YouTube Instagram beef that I, and maybe you, keep seeing. Because frankly, this beef is kind of like a it's kind of like the monster/disease in It Follows, where in order to survive, you have to pass the information on to somebody else so they get infected instead. Here are the main players. Now, probably the most famous one that you're going to know is Bad Baby. If you're trying to Google this because you're listening on audio only, please point of fact, Bad Baby is spelled BHADBHABIE. Her government name is Danielle Brijoli, but you probably know her best for her viral sensation, Cash Me Outside. How about that? She got famous because she was one of them kids gone wild on Dr. Phil, talking all sorts of wild shit, and somebody in the crowd yelled at her, and she said, Cash me outside, how about that? By the way, we're going to find out there's something to the how about that. As we're going to get to, there's something there. So she is now, Danielle Brijoli, Bad Baby, transferred her fame into rap. She is a rapper. Hence the Bad Baby moniker. And also, by the way, she's not terrible. Like, here's the hard part about it is that she's actually not bad. Like, the production's pretty good. She can keep up with it at least enough to make it not embarrassing. As far as gigantic cash grabs go, there might be something to this Bad Baby thing. Listen to some Bad Baby. Tell me whether or not I'm crazy. I don't think she's awful. I don't think she's the best ever. I don't think she's awful. That's not the point here. We need to move on to the second of our three players. Whoa Vicky, a.k.a. Icky Vicky. Oh, yeah, by the way, Danielle Brijoli, 15 years old. Whoa Vicky, a.k.a. Icky Vicky, is Victoria Waldrip. She's 18 and an Instagram personality with over 1 million followers. she is notable because she yells in all of her Instagram videos, and after receiving an Ancestry.com report that she was 48% African, she now claims she's black and has started freely using the N-word. How about that? And she was arrested for kicking a police officer at a mall. Now, the youngest of the three is Lil Tay. She is 9 years old. And apparently a rapper. She is known for fanning herself with stacks of cash on her Instagram. All right. As you can imagine, these are very, very volatile situations. Let me give you a little preview of Whoa Vicky. All right? So something else that I might need to explain to you, or you can ask your kids. There's a YouTuber called Rice Gum. Rice Gum, his shtick is apparently to write diss tracks about other famous YouTubers. So he apparently wrote one about Icky Vicky. Icky Vicky then clapped back, as is said in the parlance. Here's her clapback.
Team 10 sire agent as she started running. Pull up with a sticky agent ass get it ducky. Area major agent ass stop flexing. Ching chong, bitch. Meow, 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 meow.
Maybe that wasn't what I thought it was. I mean, like, for a second, it kind of sounded like she was saying, your Asian ass will start running. No, I couldn't have.
Area major agent ass stop flexing. Ching chong, bitch. Meow, meow.
Yeah. No, that was that. She apologized for that, by the way. In an Instagram apology, she said, I actually really love Asians. And I actually really find Asian guys attractive. So if you're like an Asian guy and you think I'm attractive, DM me right now. Huh. So this is who we're dealing with Icky Vicky. She, I think probably fairly put, is somebody that has loose and evolving ideas on where boundaries are. And by the way, so I'm looking this website that has the YouTube embed of her video that we just played. And literally the top 3 videos are Bad Baby reacting to this, Rice Gum reacting to this, and then Bad Baby's YouTube video for High Bish, which is at 89 million views, by the way. She's going to be a star, I'm telling you. All right. So how do these volatile elements all come together? Well, hold on. I mean, we could stop there. But then you wouldn't fully understand who Icky Vicky is. If you just go to Icky Vicky's Instagram, her most recent post is entitled, "I just bought a car and I'm 18. Here we go.
Hey, you already know I'm 18 years old. I just bought my brand new car. I'm a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? I'm a billionaire. I'm blessed. Shouts out to God. You know what I'm saying? I'm Gucci down and I got your ring on my shoes. 18 years old, just bought my brand new car. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed. I made it out the hood. I came for nothing. Y'all can do it too. Believe in yourself. You see the view? We in the hills. I'm in the hills still trapping. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know what I'm saying?
She's in the hills, still trapping. Still trapping. Oh, you know, when you think of the face of trapping, you gotta think Icky Vicky.
Y'all wanna get rich? Y'all wanna live in the hills? Y'all can. Y'all just gotta stop talking shit. Stop talking shit and you can get whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? I don't have my way with this shit. Y'all can have y'all way too. Just stop talking shit.
Now that seems a little over the top, right? There's a lot of her posing with stacks of money. A lot of shots of her and her boyfriend flipping the bird. By the way, she didn't just buy a car. Here is another purchase that Whoa Vicky made.
All you bitches talking shit. Bitch, I just bought $1 billion helicopter. You bitches still taking a bus. You bitches can't afford this. I just got my helicopter license. Bitch, I'm living. I'm out here in LA living life. You bitches can't afford this lifestyle. This $1 billion helicopter. Stupid bitch. You bitches need to boss up. Bitch, I'm an 18-year-old billionaire. This $1 billion helicopter. You bitches still walking.
She's a billionaire, and that's $1 billion helicopter, which through simple arithmetic would suggest that she spent all of her money on one helicopter, which doesn't really look like it cost $1 billion for those of you who are only listening.
Facts. Are you bitches talking?
All right, there we go. So now you got a sense of who Whoa Vicky is. She is beefing with Bad Baby. By the way, was just named, along with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, a Billboard Music Award finalist. Here's a taste of Bad Baby's music.
TMZ is now reporting that Danielle Bergoli is going on a...
Well, that's just a commercial. Here we go. Here's a snippet of her new song, Gucci Flip Flops.
Gucci flip flops, fuck it, hit your bitch and massage. This a big watch, diamonds dripping off of the clock. Bad baby, got these bitches busting for cash. Do the dash, try to play me, bitch, I'm busting your ass. Lot of gun sounds, only bust down. Know why these bitches mad? Cause they trash and they fucking for cash. Too official.
Why are these bitches mad? Because they're trash and they're fucking for cash. 15 years old. 15 years old. And again, not bad. It's not, I mean, like, it's not terrible. All right. I'm promising. Listen, I gotta set this. This is kind of like Rampage, right? Like I gotta introduce the monsters before I show you. I show them fighting. They have apparently been going back and forth on Instagram, on YouTube, and at what looks to be some kind of outdoor mall. Them and their posses came into each other's orbits. This was the ensuing scene. For those of you only listening on audio, these girls are tiny. Like, as soon as you see them next to other human beings, you realize that these girls are, I can't imagine that they're much over 4 feet tall. They are just tiny people. Bad Baby is in a onesie that is pulled fairly tightly around her head, revealing only her face. And Whoa Vicky looks like, you know, any girl that you would find at a Claire's in the mall. This has been all right. So this is their fight. By the way, this made TMZ. This is big news in the gossip world.
You want to run somewhere?
Oh, don't walk in front of
You want to run somewhere?
Let them talk. Ain't gonna do nothing like that. But hey, put your shoes on.
Why don't you put your bag down? Tough stuff? Put your bag down. Tough stuff?
Ain't nothing wrong with everything right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nothing wrong with it.
What's up? Come on.
Hey,
What's
hey.
up? Do something. You're 18.
Hey, stop. They ain't gonna do nothing like that.
Come on. What's up?
They ain't gonna do nothing like that. No, no, no.
What's up?
Don't start talking because I'm in the middle.
What's up?
You'll get lost. Stop.
Come on, run it, bitch.
Oh, by the way, at this point in this video, we've now panned over to reveal that not only is it 18-year-old Whoa Vicky in her you know, teen girl at the mall outfit, but also talking shit is 9-year-old little Tay. Oh, little Tay. She's 9 years old, and she looks all 9 of those years in this video, and she is talking shit. By the way, Bad Baby, you can cash her outside. How about that? Like, it's for real, man. She is looking to fight. She has no fear in her eyes. She is getting right up in this girl's face, and she does not give a fuck. She is literally there to throw hands. So, how about that?
You trying to fight? Come on, touch me. I want you to hit me. Hit me. Hit me, bitch. Hit me. If you hit me, I'll hit me. I'm right here. I'm right here. You coming at me, so you hit me. You're so about it. Hit me. You're so about it. You're so big and bad.
All right, so this is the fight. Things wind up breaking down. Things wind up breaking down with the posses. The posses start pushing, as is wont to happen. But this is where also, by the way, this apparently went down because, according to TMZ, sources told TMZ that the feud was sparked after Danielle claimed Vicky used a racially derogatory term to describe one of her best friends at a birthday party. Also, as somebody points out here in the chat room, who knows where the parents are? Nobody knows. These kids are running wild. And by the way, considering what they're probably making on Instagram and YouTube, they're probably making more than their parents anyway. We are watching for the first time ever child stars flaming out as we go, right? We are getting a live, ever-evolving view of what it is like to be a child star just disintegrating in front of all of us. I mean, it's probably nothing different than what child stars did in the past. The difference is, back then, we only really got to see Macaulay Culkin in, Home Alone and Richie Rich. I mean, imagine what that would be like if Macaulay Culkin had an Instagram or a YouTube to feed. So here's the video of how this breaks down. It's actually a fairly brilliant move by Cash Me Outside, because the posses start fighting.
You want to run somewhere?
Oh, don't walk in front of
You want to run somewhere?
Well, here we go. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Things break down. Oh, there we go. So the posses start fighting, and then the old double pincier move. Bad Baby comes all the way around the pile and snatches.
We know all that.
Look at this. She goes around the side. Boom. Yanks her right by her hair. Bah! Hammer fist to the back of the head. She attacked the flank. She did. She did. It's been a good move. Somebody's fucking studied up on the art of war. It is a legit strat, and she fucking employed it. The Jezebel article that we've been reading from ends. The moral of the story is don't talk shit online about somebody and then threaten to fight them and then not come through on that promise in person. Ha 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 ha, just kidding. The moral is don't let anyone under the age of 35 have access to the internet. In fact, burn the internet. Burn it down. Okay, batch? I mean, she makes some good points. Hazel Sills, I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter. I don't know what, I mean, listen, I read all this morning, and I'm like, I'll tell you what. We can go ahead and take calls on this. Go ahead and ring me up. 510-404-8030. Let me know how you felt watching these clips. If you are watching us live on twitch.tv/Justin R. Young or justinryoung.tv is probably the easier way to get it. Please go ahead. Dial me up. 510-404-8030. I felt ancient. I felt so old. None of these people who I really know, except for the Cash Me Outside girl. And I've just never felt further away from what the kids are into. And again, this is TMZ. These girls are the Britney Spears, the Kim Kardashians of their era. At some point, you are going to be at a work function. You're going to be the old guy there. And someone's going to say, oh my God, remember Bad Baby? And they're going to be old too. They might have kids. And they're going to be fondly remembering their youth by remembering that one Instagram video where Bad Baby called Whoa Vicky a bitch. And I don't think that necessarily it's the worst thing in the world. It seems stupid. But hell, kids are always stupid. Again, these girls are fucking 9, 15, and 18. Are we to assume that all girls between the ages of 9 and 18 have always been the fucking models of citizenship? No. Now we just have videotape. We got some other geniuses out here. This is a story that came up on our Discord. bit.ly/JuRY Discord is where you can go to either submit stories that we're going to use on the show or just be around and talk to other like-minded folks. It's a story from the Washington Post. Out today. Headline, she Instagrammed her exotic drug smuggling vacation. Now cocaine babe is going to prison. A Canadian Instagrammer who tried to smuggle millions of dollars worth of cocaine into Australia during an exotic made-for-social media ocean voyage has been convicted and sentenced to 8 years behind bars. Molina Roberge, 24, entered a guilty plea Wednesday for smuggling 95 kilos, that's 209 pounds, of the drug into Australia in 2016 following a weeks-long cruise that she and an accomplice documented on social media. Here was the plan. In the summer of 2016, Roberge and Isabelle Legace had turned their Instagram accounts into online travel journals, posting glamorous photos, posting about their intercontinental adventures aboard the MSC Princess, a cruise ship that docked in 17 ports in 11 countries before finally stopping in the Sydney harbor. The pair captured their first photo bomb in the New York's Times Square, their first Irish coffee in Cobb, a seaport town in Ireland. They showed off their tans on a Bermuda beach where one of them wrote the caption, "Gone to a place very peaceful, leave a message after the tone." They rode recreational vehicles in the desert sand. They got tribal tattoos. They made friends. Then they got arrested. Roberge, who became known as Cocaine Babe in headlines, will serve at least 4 years and 9 months of her 8-year sentence without eligibility for parole. She eventually will be deported to her home country, according to the Associated Press. So, this lady apparently was busted. Okay, upon arrival in Australia, border agents searched the ships, discovering 35 kilograms in the woman's cabin and 60 kilograms in a cabin belonging to Andre Tammin, a wealthy Canadian man in his mid-60s, whom Roberge described as her sugar daddy, according to the AP. The women were packing so much cocaine in their suitcases that an Australian border force said they did not have much room for clean underwear or spare toothbrushes. Tammin and the two women were charged with importing a commercial quantity of cocaine, which carries a maximum penalty of life in prison. The AP reported that Legace was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison late last year. Her non-parole period is 4.5. Roberge told the court that she was an escort and met Tammin on the job in 2015. She said he recruited her on a drug smuggling ship to Morocco the next year. Then she invited her to go on the cruise. So literally, I guess initially when I read this, I believed that she was like Instagramming the fact that like, hey y'all, I'm smuggling coke to Australia. Haha, fuck the feds. I'll never get caught. Youth is an eternal life force. I'll be this beautiful forever. Smash the subscribe button. She didn't do that. Although I guess go big or go home. Instead, she was just a cute girl who was working as a sex worker. Next thing you know, this coke dealer's like, hey, what do you say we take the long way to drug smuggling? Like, who does that? You're on like a weeks-long cruise. How many things can go wrong? We got a caller. Welcome to the JuRY Show. Who's this?
Ahoy, Captain. Big Jim.
What's up, Big Jim?
Hey, baby. So, yeah, and I was going to say, you kind of brought it up. I don't think, from what I read on the story, she ever took photos of the coke. It looked like she was just taking photos of where she was going on Instagram. And, I mean, realize she had 35 kilos between her and her, let's just call her buddy. And then the sugar daddy was bringing 60 kilos in and of itself.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. You've been international before.
Yeah.
You've come back through the airport before.
Yeah.
Don't they have dogs that, like, you know, sniff around bags? You think a dog on a cruise ship wouldn't smell that from like 3 decks away? That's a lot of coke, man. That's a lot of smack.
It is a lot of coke. There is no doubt about that. That is a shit ton of coke. What is interesting is that, I mean, they apparently got all the way to Australia. Like, nobody said boo about it until they tried to get through customs and they found a suitcase jam-packed with cocaine.
Well, the question is not the question is, where did that cruise ship originate from? Because I don't think they necessarily. It's a pretty well-known trade in that area from my realm. Let's just say it this way. I am aware that there's a lot of trade that goes on from like Thailand, and there's cruise ships that go up to Thailand and that area and then come back down.
Yeah.
So it's possible that they boarded this vessel someplace else, picked up the coke someplace else, brought it back on the ship. When, you know, going out, normally they don't check you going out. It's when you're coming into someplace. And she couldn't have picked, really, other than the United States or Canada, she couldn't have picked really much of a worse place, because Australian customs is ruthless, man. They are relentless. They're well known for being a relentless group. So,
well, isn't that what got Johnny Depp in trouble?
Yep, Johnny Depp, and then also I want to say it was Paul McCartney was also the one that got in trouble with, I want to say it was Australian Customs.
Because they tried to bring their dog in or something. Like, it wasn't even anything crazy. Like, it was just that you couldn't. There was like a quarantine on dogs.
It was a quarantine on the on the dog. The dog, yeah. Anytime you travel with animals, you have to have veterinary certificates, and the dogs are typically quarantined for. Oh boy, it depends on the country, but usually it's anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks that they're quarantined at the airport before they're allowed back out. That's just an animal thing. That's a normal procedure.
But they smuggled the dog in on like a private flight, right? And then got busted for it and had to face the
they brought the dog in on the private plane. They didn't declare the dog when they got there. They didn't have any veterinary certificates to show that he was checked, or he or she, excuse me, was checked before the dog entered the Australian airspace. So yeah, no, that's a big deal because you can get all kinds of fines and stuff. That's how a lot of diseases are brought in through agriculture that way. It sounds ridiculous, but that's why we have in the United States emerald ash borer, is because you have pests that come into this country on the back of other things, and just, hey, I can grow and multiply here. So,
so you're suggesting that maybe they didn't bring it all the way from New York where this started, but rather they picked it up at one of the ports coming in.
That would be my guess because, first of all, outbound from New York does do checks on the outbound side at JFK, and they would check for things like that if they flew out of New York. I'm thinking that they
they cruise, they set sail from New York. Yeah.
Even if they cruised out of New York, they're still. New York would have done some kind of New York PD would have done some kind of bag check or something. I would hope, but I don't think they brought it out of New York because why would you buy something in New York and sell all the way to Australia when if you're going through that area, you could probably get it a hell of a lot cheaper anyway. You know, I mean, I don't know what the going rate on cocaine is, but I would assume that it's cheaper over there than it is.
I mean, they certainly bought in bulk one way or another.
Well, that is true. That is true. And the previous story, by the way, with the Cash Me Outside and all the other, man, this is why my kids are not allowed to be on YouTube unless their mother or I am around, because we are not letting them anywhere near this stuff.
All right, so why is that dangerous from your perspective as a father?
From my perspective as a father, number one, I don't want my daughter getting any ideas of beating the crap out of her brothers because she's squirrely and she could probably kick their butts if she really wanted to.
Do you think she could attack the flank like Bad Baby?
Oh yeah. Oh, she wouldn't have just attacked the flank. She would have gone up over the back and gone up and down.
Yeah.
She would have, if there would have been a turnbuckle, she would have jumped from the third turnbuckle because that's just the kind of personality that she is. But the real reason is because, you know what, it's hard enough raising kids as it is right now. And if you don't sit down and talk to them about all the stuff that's out there, and there's so much stuff out there, it's not like when we were kids and you didn't have an internet per se, and you only had 3 or 4 channels on air TV that you had to worry about, maybe cable. But even then, it was at least a little more accessible to talk to your kids. Nowadays, you have no idea what they're doing. So, yeah, none of my kids are allowed to do that stuff. They're all young anyway. They're 7 and 3, so it doesn't matter anyway. But,
yeah, you got a little time. Although, hell, I mean, she's only 2 years younger than Lil Tay,
so.
and that's she was in the middle of it. All right, Big Jim, thank you so much for calling.
All right, take care.
Bye. By the way, this judge that sentenced Cocaine Babe had this to say. It's a very sad indictment on her relative age group in society to seem to get self-worth relative to posts on Instagram. It's sad that they seek to attain such a vacuous existence where how many likes they receive are their currency. She was seduced by lifestyle and the opportunity to post glamorous Instagram photos from around the world. I mean, also that in coke money. Like, wait a minute. She was convicted for smuggling coke, and we're going to get on her ass because she had a bomb-ass Instagram? Come on. Oh, get your head out of your ass. Australian judge, whoever the fuck you are. Trail, the district court judge. Oh, man. She was told she could earn $100,000 for smuggling coke. That is cut rate. Maybe, all right, no, you want to know what? Now I'm on the judge's side. If you're only getting $100,000 for taking that kind of risk, for smuggling that amount of coke, come on. Come on. Come on, buddy. All right. We have got one more thing, and then I'm going to call Tom. Because I love the idea that we can end the show by calling Tom. This is a serious question. Somebody emailed me. Super personal. Anonymous Diamond writes, super personal question that probably is reserved for a therapist, but I wanted to hear your thoughts. I want to divorce my husband. I'm only 24, and I got married way too young. I know it's the best thing for me. The issue is I'm afraid of disappointing my parents. They are hardcore conservative Christian people who mean well, but have made it very clear that they do not approve of anyone getting divorced, especially their beloved daughter. Curious to hear your thoughts. This show has range. Anonymous Diamond, I suspect that you are writing me because you suspect that what I am going to tell you is what you already know to be true. And, as will be a theme, you're right. You're right that what I'm going to say to you is what you've been thinking, that I have to get divorced. I just need somebody outside my own head to tell me that this is the right thing to do. And you're right. It is the right thing to do. You are also right in that you are identifying that your parents are not going to be pleased about it. And there might be a chance, because I don't know your family, I don't know your parents, that they might be so upset about it that they are going to yell at you. They're going to be disappointed in you. They might even stop talking to you. But here's the real deal. You're 24. I don't know whether or not you have kids with your husband. You didn't mention them, so I'm assuming not. You are at a point where you're probably going to. I mean, these things normally work. We're just going rule of thumb. You don't need to bring that in. Nor, by the way, do you need to trap your husband in a marriage that isn't working. But most importantly, you don't need to trap yourself in a marriage that isn't working. You need to get the fuck out. Go. Get on the bus, Gus. Go ahead and leave the key, Lee. Sell him into white slavery, Avery. And set yourself free. Look, there's no question here. If you want to write back in with more details on stuff, then I'd be more than happy to continue, telling you what I think. But in general, Brian Brushwood, co-host, good friend, is always fond of saying the best time to plant a tree was 25 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. Now, you might have regret in how young you got married, and maybe you shouldn't have. But the second best time to do something about it is right now. So, I would suggest doing it now. Because, by the way, this is a general kind of breakup thing that happens. Now is breakup season. Break up now. You want to break up during the summer, after Valentine's Day, before the holidays. Everyone's in a better mood during the summer. Get the fuck out. Speaking of emails, let's go ahead and get into a few more. JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Again, JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Put JuRY in the subject line. Brian writes, I'm really getting a kick out of the conversations between you and your character voices on JuRY and PX3. Taking it to a Phil Hendry level would be hilarious. Thanks for keeping it entertaining, informative, and sane. Thank you, Brian. I should do more of that. I like that. In thinking of other things that we can do with the show, Crunchy writes, one of my favorite podcasts is called Other People's Lives. The two hosts go around finding quirky people on the internet and interviewing them about their stories. They have one with a girl whose father's been in jail since she was 9 years old for killing a man who sexually assaulted her. They talk to flat earthers, a lot of people with interesting kinks, some religious cult that lived on a bus, etc. It's fucking fascinating. Hard to come up with another original idea, so hopefully this won't sound too copycatty for you. But it is a really great concept for a podcast. With your journalism degree, you could possibly take that to the next level. I think everyone has a story to tell. You want to know who I hit up on Instagram was Fenrir Recovery. They are a bounty hunter couple that I randomly talked to on the hype train a few weeks ago, but I would love to do more of an interview with them. And so we are in the process of trying to figure that out. All right. Let's go ahead and give Tom a call. We'll see if we can. This just feels right. Just wrapping up the JuRY show with a quick call to Tom Merritt. I feel like this is a good way to wrap things up. Send us into the weekend by talking to Tom. Whether or not he picks up. Maybe he won't. Maybe. Look, this is part of the suspense. And he did. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Tom Merritt. How you doing?
I'm changing the water filter on my fridge.
Nice. Was it like, were you getting some stank-ass water, or did it, like, alert you?
No, man. I set a calendar to change this thing every 6 months. Make sure the water is nice and pure.
Man, you're Tom, just a model citizen.
I'm a grown-up, okay?
All right. So congratulations.
Fridge filters, anyway.
I've decided that you're now the permanent end of the JuRY show, of the JuRY podcast. I'm just going to call you and I'm just going to call you and talk about the things that we've already talked about on the show. So
I'm your reverse Matt Damon.
Yes, basically. Yeah, because you're always going to show up. You're just going to always be there.
Even if I'm in the middle of changing a fridge filter, Justin, I will be there for you.
All right. I'm going to name a few names. You tell me if you are aware of who any of them are.
Okay.
Whoa Vicky. Do you know who Whoa Vicky is?
No, I'm afraid I am unfamiliar with Whoa Vicky. I've not had the pleasure.
How about Lil Tay?
I mean, there's so many Lils out there. Kind of sounds familiar, but I'm not going to claim I know which one Lil Tay is.
All right, this one you may or may not know. Bad Baby.
Nope, do not know Bad Baby.
All right, now you might know Bad Baby by another name, or specifically her catchphrase, "Cash me outside, how about that?" Does that ring any bells?
Outside, how about that?
Cash me outside, how about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know Cash Me Outside, how about that, girl?
No, I don't, man.
Oh, man. There's so much. What an amazing world awaits you. How many wondrous adventures are in front of you?
Now, I might feel bad about this. Like, oh, man, I'm behind. I don't know these things. But I feel like I can do a little cultural exchange with you.
Sure.
Do you know Diamond Platinums, spelled with a Z at the end?
Diamond Platinums? No, I don't.
Diamond Platinums is a Tanzanian hip-hop artist.
Okay.
Diamond Platinums it has been arrested in Tanzania for posting an Instagram video of himself kissing a woman in violation of obscenity laws.
Holy shit. So he's like a free speech freedom fighter.
Yeah, he's hardcore, posting them obscene videos.
Well, I'll tell you what. The funny thing here is these women that I was just bringing up are also famous for Instagram videos.
Aha! What? Pray tell, are these women famous for?
Well, here let me just play you a little clip. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear this. This is Whoa Vicky. This is her most recent Instagram post entitled, "I just bought a car and I'm 18 years old."
Oh, wow.
Hey, you already know I'm 18 years old. I just bought my brand new car. I'm a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? I'm a billionaire. I'm blessed. Shouts out to God. You know what I'm saying? I'm Gucci down and I got your ring on my shoes.
Could you hear that?
Yes. Yeah, how could I not?
All right. Well, here we go.
18 years old, just bought my brand new car. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed. I made it out the hood. I came for nothing. Y'all can do it too. Believe in yourself.
She's a billionaire.
Take a wild guess, having only heard the voice of Whoa Vicky. What if you were to describe physically Whoa Vicky? How would you describe Whoa Vicky?
Yeah. Okay. This is an exercise that's always fraught with peril, right?
Indeed, it is.
Has taught us nothing. The voice and the appearance may differ. I'm gonna say, well, she's 18. I'm gonna say
She's 18. And by the way, she just bought a car. She's so blessed.
Right.
She did also make it out the hood.
So, yeah, I would say like 5'4", medium build. You know, and I don't know. I don't know what else. I'm just imagining like normal hood clothes, I guess.
She's in a tracksuit. Essentially, she is maybe 40 pounds soaking wet, and
skinny. Okay.
probably best described as a model for some kind of like a Forever 21 like women's clothing store, like teen centric women's clothing. That's basically who she is.
Okay. All right.
But she's up in the hills and she's still trapping, which is good to know
For her.
that she's there. So no, the big story that we talked about today, because I feel ancient reading it, was, and I wanted to share my decrepitness, was that young lady, Whoa Vicky, got into a fight with Bad Baby, a.k.a. Cash Me Outside, how about that? And it became like, it's like the #1 story on TMZ. And I have no idea who these girls are. Also,
Right.
she is the oldest at 18. Bad Baby is 15. And Whoa Vicky's sidekick is Lil Tay, who is 9 years old.
What? Whoa, wait. That's a violation of COPA.
Right? And apparently, like, this was like a fight. This was a fight like you know, like those videos of Tupac getting into the fight in the casino before he got shot. It was like posses throwing hands. Like, this is what life is now.
That's so with a 9-year-old though.
And the 9-year-old was talking the most shit.
Well, yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so. Reckless ass 9-year-old.
Wow.
All right. So on a scale from
who's running the 9-year-old? That's Lil Tay is the 9-year-old.
Lil Tay is the 9-year-old. Yeah.
So who's running the 9-year-old's account?
I would assume the 9-year-old.
No, that's not allowed. You can't have.
Oh, are we? Holy shit! Are we fucking snitching on Lil Tay?
No. I mean, there's a way to do it legally. If you're under 13, an adult can have an account, you know, a parent or guardian that they feature their child on.
Gotcha.
So it can't actually be owned or run by Lil Tay. It would have to be run by her parents or guardian.
Well, there is. Oh, wait a minute. Account managed by Miranda Cosgrove.
Okay.
She's the. Oh, wait, no. So she's just another lady that I guess is running her account. But yeah, Lil Tay, who has now, I'm on her Instagram, has now changed her icon to bad baby getting held back by her security. Wow. It's real out here, Tom. 791,000 followers, by the way.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's easy at our advanced age to shake your head and go, man, kids these days, right?
Yeah.
709. Who would follow this? But it's just different forms of the same thing. Right?
Well,
Everybody was following similar stuff, just in different ways. And we didn't have an easy number to attach to it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Is also, like, even if you're going to look at this as kids run amok, right?
Right.
It's not like famous kids haven't been running amok forever. Right. It's just now we can see it because that's the content that we want.
And getting famous has a different path. So you'd be like, well, sure, the television stars, but they were television stars. They weren't just Instagram. It's like, well, because we didn't have Instagram. I don't know why I was doing a Rush Limbaugh voice there.
Well, you know, Tom, it's I was on the IG when I saw snurdly that Lil Tay talking the mad noise.
Wouldn't that be amazing if he just pivoted into like Instagram social media news? I would love that.
Oh, yeah, you just gave me an idea. Rush Limbaugh's social media minute.
Same political, right? Same political take.
Same thing, yeah.
Talking about social media stars.
You know, just like the ivory tower, liberal Democrats and the lady news reporters, this is the same kind of flexing that we have seen from the Clinton machine for years.
Right. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Bad baby is a victim here, and we need to understand that when she says, cash me outside, how about that? Indeed, she absolutely means it. We'll be right back.
It's a clarion call.
All right, Tom, what are we talking about on DTNS today?
Well, I floated that idea out there in the Slack, and I'm still waiting to finish the conversation. But my idea is to talk a little more about this line between ad blocking and privacy protection. I feel like people are missing this angle, which is, hey, okay, everybody's out there saying, including publishers, like, boy, that Facebook, man, they're tracking you even when you're not on Facebook. How about that?
How about that?
So is every publisher.
Yeah.
In fact, all of those warning signs say, hey, we see you're using an ad blocker. Come up when you're using Privacy Badger and Disconnect Me, because they want to track you for their ads.
Yeah.
And the sites that are tracking you on those publisher pages, they aren't the publisher. They're ad agencies. So it's exactly what Facebook is doing. Not letting Facebook off the hook. Not excusing Facebook. I'm like, hold on. They're just the biggest one doing. So anyway, I was thinking that might make it.
I think 100%. I think that's a great idea, and we should totally explore that, because ultimately, what ad blocking is never going to be a solution to anything. Like, ad blocking or a paid version doesn't really work for Facebook or anybody else who primarily makes their money in advertising as a solution. It takes them further away from them doing what they make money at. And I don't really think that anybody wants it. People do want better ads. As long as ads are going to exist, people want them to be more targeted. The progress that I think we need to make is understanding where this data is coming from and how much control we should have over it. Yeah. Like that should be something that we have a better education on. So I am totally down for this.
Cool. Well, I will count you in. Also, I I have rarely seen such unanimity in an audience as when I asked in the Patreon version of our show, which has a pre and post show on it.
Yep.
Hey guys, what would you think if we separated out the pre and post show from the main show?
Okay.
Everyone against it, 100%. Right? I've seen things where I'm like, I might do this, and it's like 70-30.
Yeah.
Man, everyone's like, no, I want, and I'm a little surprised. I'm not surprised that most people want to continue having it the way it is. I'm surprised that people really think of it as one big long show, because we vary so much in tone between the actual show and the pre and post show, but they do. It's pretty interesting.
Well, I personally, as a fan of other shows that kind of have that sort of length to it, I plan on listening to all of it. So the easier way that I can listen to all of it is the way to do it.
Yeah. No, I guess that makes a lot of sense. And the other thing going on for me is Inkshare's Trigor, the sequel to Pilot X, is 55% of the way there.
Nice. So get up off your ass, folks. Go get that book. Where can people find it, Tom?
Inkshares.com/books/Trigor, Trigor. Just go to inkshares.com and search for my name or Trigor, and it should pop up for you that way. The idea is I need 750 pre-orders, and then they publish it like a real publisher in all ways, including an audiobook. So check it out.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much, Tom. I will see you in a little bit on DTNS.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye. And that about wraps it up for us, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you can write us an email, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. And always send stories to me at Justin R. Young on Twitter. You can join our Discord, bit.ly/JuRy Discord, JuRY Discord. A reminder, The Contender, the game of presidential debate, the award-winning game available for you. You get a free taxes mini expansion, a tax-centric mini expansion if you use Tax Cut when you buy the original game. You can find me on my IG, Justin R. Young, Snapchat, Twitter too. And, of course, you can join our conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. Folks, until next time, this is your old pal, Justin Robert Young, reminding you to please don't die!
Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.